did not hit her! I did not! It's not true! No! I did not! Oh, hi, Joe. Ready for a review?
I think so.
Whatever. Hey guys, we just got back from The Disaster Artist, which I'm sure all three of you will go out and see. This is a niche of a niche of a niche movie. You may ask why, and that I will have to kick it on over to Joe. Joe, I think it's time people really knew the real OtherJoe and what he does in his free time.
See, what I like to do is pick the worst movie possible and watch it. It's one of my guilty pleasures.
Like the shittiest films you've ever heard of.
It's fun. I want to see what these directors, their creativity, and what was going through their heads when they were actually making this film.
So we've seen a lot of movies from people who highlight these kinds of films, like Red Letter Media, our very own channel Awesome's Doug, Nostalgia Critic, who's actually done The Room before and actually has history with Tommy Wiseau. So we watched The Room, obviously, before going and watching this, and I've seen it before. It is the worst, just the absolute worst film you've ever seen. But it's one of those good bad that it goes beyond bad.
Nothing made sense.
Good. Into you will go from what the fuck is going on to you know what, fuck it. And you're just laughing and having a good time. And it's an experience. And so and what makes it so interesting is it was created by this mysterious, eccentric, crazy man. You know, Tommy Wiseau, who, you know, directed, produced, wrote, financed, did everything, put this thing together. And it's literally a train wreck on screen, but it is the most fascinating train wreck that has the power to bring people together.
Yeah.
Quite an experience. And so, who was it? James Franco decided to make this a personal pet project of his and bring this to mass audiences with a number of other companies and WB and share it with everybody. Now, it was limited release for us over here. I couldn't really find it in many theaters. Luckily, we have the Alamo Draft House, which gave us these little pens, Tommy's Planet. You'll see this in the movie where, you know, Tommy is living on his own planet.
He's in his own world, yeah.
He's in his own world. But, so basically, this is a movie about the movie. How it was created. How something so terrible and disastrous could have possibly happened. And this is like the behind the scenes stuff. And I have no idea if any of this stuff is true. Because is this
think it
even...
is.
It's supposed to be,
Greg has a book, The Disaster Artist. It's based off of a book.
This is a book?
Yeah,
Greg wrote a book? Okay, so there's Tommy Wiseau, and then there's his best friend who they meet named Greg, and they want to become big movie stars, and they meet up in an acting class, and they just, you know, Tommy seemingly has endless amounts of money.
So we don't know his real name.
Okay.
Because Wiseau is...
Wiseau's not his name?
It's not his real last name. No, he chose that because Wiseau is French for bird. Yeah. And they call him the Birdman when he was growing up. So we don't know his name. Yeah. We don't know where he's from, though.
France.
We think Poland.
France? No, it's New Orleans. My bad.
Oh, yeah, he's New Orleans.
My bad.
We don't know where he's really from. We don't know how old he is. We don't know where the money comes from.
That's why this thing is so
bizarre.
Fascinating. Without Tommy's personality, without the aura of Tommy, this film wouldn't work and The Room wouldn't have worked. And
The Room did not work.
Yeah.
But when he's on scene, though, yes, it does not work. But when you want to see the movie for him.
Oh, yeah.
When he's on scene, you're like, oh my God.
The second watch through of that movie is glorious.
Yeah.
And a curmudgeon like
Because
me.
I'm like, I don't want to. What? This is the worst movie I've ever seen, and I started to laugh in a few places, but it wasn't like good. So don't go in thinking The Room is gonna change your life.
It's
but
bad.
upon second
it
viewing,
is.
and then with beers and with friends,
It's
it
awesome.
could be literally one of the best times.
And that's why it's a
It
cult
is.
classic now.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
people
what
go now.
Yeah, and that's what happens in this film, and it sort of tells this story about how Tommy, set out to make a very real and serious acting film, and it
Emotion.
turned and boy, it turned out into what this is, and people were laughing, and so I mean, I gotta say, I loved it. What do you think?
I loved it 100%.
The Room or the
James-
Disaster Artist?
The Disaster Artist.
Even The Room.
Both of them.
Joe loves
James
bad movies.
Franco pretty much was spot on as Tommy.
Yeah, he does a great Tommy. Chris Stuckman actually does a really good Tommy. Check out his channel, and he's reviewed
pretty
this
funny.
film. He does a great Tommy, and Doug does too on Channel Awesome. Everybody does a great Tommy. Oh, hi,
It's
Mom.
that laugh.
Yeah, that laugh. Oh, Tommy is so great. Anyways, so yeah, what about when the film first opens, I couldn't help but feel like I'm watching the Franco brothers. Because he brings in his brother, so it's actually James Franco playing Tommy and Dave Franco playing Greg, Tommy's friend that he meets and makes this film with. But so they're in this acting class, and so Greg is just a terrible actor. He's kind of he's shy and timid, and they're making fun of him. They're like, you need to open up. And he's like, well, does anybody else want to go? I'll go. And this is Tommy, and it's great opening scene. But when they walk out and they're looking at each other and they're like, hey, man, you want to be friends? You want to do a scene with me?
Complete opposite.
I didn't buy into their characters. I just saw the Franco brothers. But over time, they really convinced me with their performances. Except for fucking Dave Franco's beard.
It's so bad.
So bad.
It's so bad.
I think they did that on purpose.
I don't-
because the actual Room, his beard is like fucking
But it's real
terrible.
beard, yeah.
But it looks terrible.
It looks terrible, but that's
does.
like, at least this looked really bad.
really bad.
Yeah, really.
And you would know, right? Because your beard is always
It
So
would
in
look like
most
if
of
you
the
put a
time-
band on
highly
me.
lumberjack.
Yeah, I mean,
which they have several subplots in the film, and we don't want to give away too much, but
Spoilers.
Tommy does offer so much because he has so much money, but you can see there's several disastrous things happen, and your eyes are just glued to the screen. He said, that couldn't possibly happen. I turned to Joe or Alex, was like, did that really happen?
Apparently so.
Did he really make everybody that uncomfortable in this scene?
Even
I'm not
Greg's
spoiling it because this is well known, but there is a very infamous sex scene in The Room, and I've always wanted to know what the fuck was going on with that scene because Tommy is literally having like sex with the chick's like belly button. He's way too high, and you see full on Tommy ass. And so I was like, what the fuck was going on here? And we get to see what actually happened behind the scenes. And it wasn't in the way I thought. It was like, whoa, shit, this is this is wrong. This is what's happening here. So lots of really good little subplots and interesting things. Just morbid curiosity at what was happening in the film. What about any of the supporting characters? Were you surprised by any cameos? Because we had a few cameos in the film.
There was like 100, like everyone. I felt like everyone who's ever done anything with the Franco brothers, Seth Rogen, anyone was like, I want to be part of this movie.
Yep.
The opening scene is a bunch of actors that are not in the movie at all. They're just talking about The Room and how bizarre like the story is and the making of it. And so there was a ton of people in this movie.
And, I really don't want to give away much more of the film. There's not going to be a spoiler section here. We're just going to give you our opinion of the film. We're going to rate it. But do stay after the credits because there is a fantastic scene at the end of the film.
Oh, at the end.
We get the greatest cameo of all time. So let's just go ahead and rate this thing. Well, let me first say that this is a funny... It's a genuine, surprisingly genuine, funny. You do feel emotion, surprisingly, out of this thing. This train wreck of a movie. I'm like, oh man, because there's kind of, I saw a little bit of us in there, Joe, you know, where it was like, hey man, let's fucking make a show, you know, and we were was fucking terrible at it, you know, and just
You
having
guys suck.
just
You
shitty.
don't mean that.
You know our intros and our parodies are shitty. You know, it's cheesy ass humor, but yet, you know, we have fun doing it, and it's all about just, you know, passion and driving forward and going for your dreams. And so the movie ends up having a great message, surprisingly genuine and touching for a film about a fucking shitty ass movie. So the shitty ass movie. Though there are some other good ones like a Birdemic and Suburban Sasquatch that you should just go out and see, or watch Red Letter Media stuff. So let's go ahead and give our final verdicts for this film. I know it's kind of hard because this is like a film about a film. So I want a final verdict for this film, and I want a final verdict for The Room. So we'll start with Alex.
The Room. The Room is one of the worst films of all time.
Yeah.
And I've watched it several times.
Yeah.
Because the first time you watch it, you're going to think this is super bizarre, but every time you watch it afterward, and what's surprising is sometimes I watch a bad movie and say, don't go see it. I watch this movie and I tell everyone to go see it. It's like, this movie, you will not believe how bad this movie is. And so it's kind of a fun thing.
It's hard to rate. I don't know how you would rate
it.
that.
It is, again, one of the worst movies I've ever seen, but it's a good time. Mm-hmm. Leading into that, I don't think you're going to enjoy The Disaster Artist nearly as much without having seen this movie. So if you plan on seeing this,
good point.
Spend the 99 minutes and watch, you know, The Room, and then go see this other movie. I think you'll enjoy it more.
Yeah. Because there were side-by-side scenes, which you...
Well, the entire time I was watching this movie, all I wanted to see, because I enjoyed it like almost the entire time, is I wanted to see, because they recreated a lot of scenes, and at the end of the movie, they show the side-by-side of where they're perfectly recreating.
Even timed perfectly.
It was so good. So
James said, I think I read somewhere he has an additional 25 minutes of just footage of recreations, and he wants to just release it. So it'll probably end up on the DVD for The Disaster Artist.
I think Disaster Artist has got to be like a solid 7 out of 10 movie. It's definitely above average. It gets a couple points lower because I don't think mass audiences who haven't seen this movie are gonna like it at all.
Yeah, you have to tie it directly into The Room.
You have to see this what the source material is, but I think if you have, you'll really enjoy it.
And The Room?
Yeah, if you see
The Room. What would you rate The Room?
It's got to be 1.
Yeah, 1.
It's like a really enjoyable 1 or 2.
Yeah,
like after the first time.
Yeah. Okay, Joe, what are you thinking?
The Room, I would have to give a 3.
A 3?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because it's terrible script.
It's 1. It's a 1.
Terrible.
I don't know what shit you've seen worse than The Room.
I've seen some shit.
Well, okay, your rating must have gone into as bad as good here and there.
Yeah. But after watching The Room a couple more times, I fucking loved it. And then watching this movie, I was intrigued by Tommy's mystery, and I wanted to see more, so I was really excited to see this movie.
But I'm glad that they didn't spoil the mystery, right?
Yeah.
Well, we don't know. We literally do not know. We have no idea.
I was like, okay, maybe we'll get a little peek behind the curtain.
We did get peek.
He's so captivating every time he's on screen and everything. And like I said, James did a great job.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to give The Disaster Artist an 8.
Yes, yeah,
I really enjoyed it.
That's where I'm at. My final verdict for The Disaster Artist is an 8. I think everybody did great. The reason why it doesn't get more, because this could be a 10 out of 10, a perfect 99.9% recreation and approval. Even I think Tommy himself approves this movie.
He approves of the movie.
You know, I think he did an interview on Kimmel
yeah.
and said that this is how it happened. This is how it happened, which blows me away. He told me that in the car. I was like, what the fuck? So I think overall it could have been a 10 out of 10, but because you have to have seen The Room to really enjoy it. So if you've seen The Room, it's like an 8. If you haven't seen The Room, it could be 6, 7, depending on. But it's still a good standalone story on its own. What it does do is it makes you absolutely fascinated, if you haven't seen it, to go out and see The Room. So it's definitely going to boost sales.
And it really makes you feel for Tommy.
Yeah,
I
because
really
you feel for the guy, and then you kind of go on this journey with him, and it's a great story in the end. So it's gonna probably boost sales of midnight showings of The Room
and
the DVDs and stuff. So I can't wait for the DVD commentary on this. Maybe he'll do it with Tommy or something. That would be fucking amazing. This is a special film, special movie. So 8 out of 10. The Room is like a fucking 1. It is literally a 1 out of 10. But you have to like bad films. So bad it's good.
Really
Not bad is bad, you know?
Have a beer or 6
So-
first, and then you'll
Yeah.
really like the movie.
Yeah, because Joe likes bad movies. I like bad movies if you can have fun out of it. You know, everybody knows I like Suicide Squad. That was a bad movie. And it was objectively bad, but I rated it high because I had fun. But maybe I was drunk. So, anyways, you don't have to be drunk to have a good time in this one. So
No.
go check it out. The Disaster Artist. Great movie, great experience. And yeah, we'll see you guys on the next Angry Joe Show. Tommy's Planet!